Hello everybody, Cindy Greenway here, Editor-in-Chief at LawMarketing.com, and today we're talking about how to improve your lead conversion rate. I'm here with Stephen Fairley, who's the CEO of the Rainmaker Institute, the nation's largest law firm marketing company that specializes in marketing and lead conversion for small and medium-sized law firms. And Stephen, I want to welcome you here. I know we've had a couple of videos already where we've really focused on lead conversion around what is a lead and the 5 stages of lead conversion, and today we're going to focus on how to improve your lead conversion rate, because we all know that everybody could use some improvement. So welcome to our session here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Cindy. I really appreciate it. In the previous video, we really talked about the 3 major stages that areas that every single successful law firm needs to focus on: lead generation, lead conversion, client retention. Lead generation, as I explained, is getting leads into the top of the funnel. And a lot of attorneys spend the bulk of their revenues and their time trying to generate more leads. But it costs you a lot of money, and it costs you even more money every single year to get the same amount of leads. Number 2 is lead conversion, which is actually improving your conversion rate and the number of prospects versus the number of paying clients, or browsers turning browsers into buyers. And then the third one is client retention, which is doing great work and staying connected with that person over a long period of time so that you can get repeat business and or repeat referrals from them. And in the previous video, the second video, we talked about the 5 stages of lead conversion. And so if you haven't watched the first and the second in this series, I highly recommend that you actually go watch that right now, because this video will make a whole lot more sense to you if you actually know what I'm talking about, and if you would lay the foundation to understanding what true lead conversion is. So in the last video, we talked about the 5 major stages of lead conversion: measuring the number of leads that come into the top of the funnel, the number of leads that turn into appointments, how many of those appointments actually show up, how many sign up at the initial consultation, and how many sign up later on down the road. Today we're going to talk about some specific tips to be able to triple your appointment rate. Turning from stage 1 to stage 2, how many leads come in versus how many of them actually turn into an appointment. Let me give you some major tips that you can use to triple your appointment rate. So the first thing is fix your follow-up. Fix your follow-up. If you fix your follow-up, you'll fix your cash flow. If you're having cash flow issues right now as a law firm, the number one thing that I would tell you, the fastest way to get revenue in the door is fix your follow-up. Let me give you one specific tip. There was a study that was done a couple of years ago on leads that were driven off the internet. And these were not referrals based on a person-to-person referral, but these were leads that were generated off the internet, which is honestly where a lot of attorneys are getting more and more of their leads every single day. People are visiting your website, they're generating a lead from that. And so this research company analyzed over 2 million leads. 2 million leads. That's a lot of leads. Now, they weren't just from law firms. They were from businesses all across the nation, because guess what? Attorneys aren't the only companies out there that actually generate leads off the internet, right? Duh. Okay? So they analyzed these 2 million leads, and they were specifically looking at several different questions. And one of the questions that they looked at is, how fast does it, or how long does it take from a lead generated off the internet to go from hot to cold? How fast? Well, some people, they analyzed this, and their from hot to cold turned into a conversion ratio, right? And what they found was that there was a 5-minute follow-up rule. Believe it or not, it doesn't take hours or days. It takes less than 5 minutes for an internet-driven lead to go from hot to cold. Now, I'm not talking about a lead that you got referred from your CPA or your financial advisor or your best friend who's attorney in another law firm. Obviously, you don't want to make them wait 5 weeks or 5 months to follow up with them, but you have certainly more than 5 minutes. I'm talking about someone who's interested in your services but hasn't committed to hiring you. You have less than 5 minutes to follow up with that person, which means if you don't have a system in place to follow up with that person in 5 minutes or less, after they leave a voicemail, after they sign up on the live chat on your website, after they send you an email overnight or during the weekend, whatever it is, 5 minutes or less, your actual closing ratio drops like a rock off a cliff. But the flip side of that is they found that those companies who had implemented a 5-minute follow-ups rule, and they were able to get the majority of their leads connected to them on the phone in 5 minutes or less, their conversion rate went up 300%. 300% by that one tip. That one recommendation, you can literally triple your appointment rate. Let me give you the second one. We have time just for one more? Yes?
Time for one more.
The second one is this. never, ever, 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 ever make an attorney responsible for following up. Don't do it. Never make an attorney responsible for following up.
It won't happen.
It won't happen. I know you have the best of intentions. You really want to do it. You intend to do it. You just won't do it. You'll always put it off. You'll make it the last possible thing that you can do. Never make an attorney responsible for following up. If you're an attorney watching this, I don't want you following up. I want someone on your team following up. I want someone on your staff following up with that lead. Their goal, by the way, is to get you an appointment. Okay? I don't want you chasing down people because you just won't. And in fact, most of your protocol right now is, I could sum it up like this. Someone calls in and you're not there and no one's there to answer the phone. Someone, probably that day or the next day or when they get into the office on Monday, will pick up the pick up the messages, call them back once. And if that person doesn't call back, they lose them. That is a terrible follow-up protocol. You can do much better than that, which is, by the way, why a lot of your competitors are eating your lunch, because they're following the strategies that I'm talking about, and you're just waiting for the phone to ring. Fix your follow-up, and you'll fix your cash flow. Guaranteed.
Wow. Very well said. And I think almost a big sigh of relief in a way, Stephen, because I think attorneys quite often will take on the ownership that they have to do it all. They're not relying on their staff or delegating or assigning specific, strategies to their law firm employees. And so I think a big sigh of relief that attorneys can let go of that, but need to make sure that that's implemented and very, strictly followed in their practice. 5 minutes. That's unreal. 5 minutes unreal. Well, I'm going to try to tap into some more information for you. You have one more thing you want to say. Go ahead.
Just wanted to say, just remember the flip side of that. If you can get to them in 5 minutes or less, your closing ratio goes up 300%. That's huge.
That is crazy. That's unbelievable. So, Stephen, I'm going to tap into some more because I want to know more about the follow-up and what you would recommend for attorneys on how they implement that strategy and that protocol to their law firm. So thanks again for joining us. I know people can learn more about you and the Rainmaker Retreats at rainmakerheat.com, and they can find you on Twitter at Stephen Fairley. And again, I thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.